Welcome to Underground Nutrition Hot Takes with Justin and John, podcast number 10.
That's the new
The new
This week, that's week 10's title.
Week 10's title, Hot Takes
Hot
with
Takes.
Justin and John. Hot Takes with Paramount. Brought to you by Underground Nutrition. Sponsored by Hollow Labs. How you guys doing? How's your week?
week was great.
Great. How was yours?
It was interesting. An interesting week.
What happened?
I went to the doctor.
Oh,
What do you got there in front of you? You want to jump right into that?
we're
Or?
gonna
You want to get
into
right into it? I
Yeah.
thought we could talk
Yeah.
about my blood work. It's been a cause for concern. Some of my friends and family.
Loved ones worrying about you.
Everyone's a little worried about me.
Yeah.
So you brought your blood work with you.
Yeah, I thought we would go over my blood work, talk about my hormone panel. That's the interesting stuff anyway.
You went and saw Kepka?
I went to, Dr. Kepka, world famous.
Kepka.
Dr. Red Rose Rejuvenation.
He's a legend, I hear.
If you drop my name over there, you won't get anything, but I'll get like bonus points. It's like, it really
Free appointment.
helped me out because I don't
Free
have
head rubs.
car insurance or health insurance.
I went there years ago.
He's pretty good. I mean, he's thorough.
I drove you there. I waited in the car like it was a drug
You
deal.
waited at the car.
He needs to get in that test.
Right.
Well, yeah, Scott came with me, and he didn't stay in the car, and he deboed my appointment.
Yeah, we got into that. I remember that conversation.
That is a true story. So I've been. I guess I should probably preface the whole reason for the blood. First of all, everybody should get blood work. But I have not been able to lose a fucking pound in like a year. I've been the same 10 pounds back and forth, and I'm not unactive. But when you get to my age, I think blood work becomes more and more important. And a lot of the stuff that I used to do, either A, I don't do, or B, doesn't work. So we got my blood work done. See, I was convinced I was dying.
Right.
I'm like, this is going to be a nightmare.
Are you dying?
No, I'm not dying. My blood work was actually
You were
pretty
happy with the results.
good. My blood was a little thick, so they had to take a pint out of me. He wasn't going to let me drive home without taking a pint. But, I mean, anybody who takes testosterone should probably donate a pint
Yeah.
of blood.
I tried. I was banned.
I was banned from New Jersey
You
as
were
well.
both. I
Yeah.
was the only one they would let in there.
Yeah, because they didn't think you were on steroids.
They threw Scott out as soon as he walked in.
The
They
doctor
pricked
they
Justin.
called.
They
I got
called,
a phone call.
They walked in and they put the doctors on
She
the
walked
phone.
over with a phone. She's like, "It's for you." I said, "Who is it?" It's the doctor. The doctor's like, "What are you taking?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "Oh, you're not taking steroids." I said, "Nope." And he said, "All right, here's what we're gonna do.
You're gonna leave?
No, we're gonna take your blood today, and we're gonna throw it immediately in the garbage where it belongs, and don't ever set foot back in here again." And
Yeah.
I said, "All right, that's fine. That's fine." And then I got a packet in the mail saying I was banned from donating.
I didn't get banned. I went with John and they did the whole shebang. They were like, filled out all the paperwork and they took some sort of test. I don't think they took my blood and they were like, no,
Yeah.
we can't take. You gotta go.
Yeah, one of the most asinine things about healthcare in the state of New Jersey is that you need a prescription from a doctor to do therapeutic bloodletting. Like I feel it's like something you could do at home.
Mm.
You know, like
Well-
I don't really need you.
It's like, no, we could do it at home.
Well, I found.
I
I
can
think Scott could do it at home.
I've seen him drain some stuff out of his body at home.
Yeah.
But I after you two had that experience, and I was a little nervous about the getting banned from the Red Cross. I went to one of those, like, they have blood drives at like churches,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I saw one online that was like, it was a pancake breakfast.
Where-
You donate blood
And you get a
bacon,
pancake?
eggs, and pancakes.
You're like, I'm
I was
in.
like, I'm in.
They
I'm
take
in.
the blood, and then you're done, and they sit you down, and they give you breakfast with pancakes and
Where'd you
maple
go? Like
syrup.
Patterson?
It was like no, it was like a basement of a church in Belmar.
Oh, okay. I thought you drove up to like Newark. and
No, I
like,
would
oh,
never. No.
When they were taking the pint of blood, it was like the end of the day, and the woman because now Dr. Kepko has somebody who takes the blood out. They'll just charge you $50
Right away.
instead of having to get a prescription and then go somewhere else.
They did when I went there 5-6 years ago. I did it at Kepco.
They didn't do that. They do the blood test at Kepco and they do bloodletting at
Oh,
Kepco.
so you didn't
Oh, they
have.
do bloodletting.
You didn't,
Yeah, bloodletting.
But
They
I
took
had
my blood right in the office.
I had my blood work done at Kepco.
Yeah, I didn't. But anyway, so I sit down. I can tell she's annoyed, right? She's not being particularly nice to me. And I take my arm out, and she goes, "You have a scar here." And I said, "That's from shooting heroin." and she didn't talk to me
Yeah.
for the rest of the time. And I tried to, it was so awkward because I was like trying to be funny. I tried to say I was just joking, and she wouldn't even acknowledge that I had said anything at all. Like I said, I said thanks, like have a nice day, and she did. She egged me for the rest of the time. So
Some people don't really like acknowledge or kind of like get your humor.
You have to be there.
but I said it in a
I feel like there's
way.
different type of. I feel like your therapist didn't get your humor when I was telling you about your therapist.
I'm
the
not
other
out.
day.
It's not out in the world that I go to therapy.
Well,
It is now.
It is. It's like that.
Everybody
I
needs
was
a
talking to my
therapist.
therapist and I was making jokes and he wasn't laughing. I was like, probably.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna kill myself, and he goes, "You can't say that." I said, "Come on."
Having gone
He told me not to
through-
make drug jokes. He told me I need to do triangle breathing, and I'm like, I said, it's like a breathing Xanax, and he said, let's try not to make drug references. I said, well, bro, you fucking
I got 45 minutes with you.
calm
That's
down,
that's
dude. I'm
not gonna-
paying you.
Right.
I think you develop a sense of humor having
Sorry.
gone there and come back.
Yeah,
that
but
other
I didn't
people
even know.
don't
I didn't
understand.
say it in a way that it was even true. Like I just, you know what I mean?
Well, I think
To
that
the
she,
therapist or to the
To the
blood
woman, the
doctor?
blood,
Oh,
like I didn't say it
That's
like
from
I was
heroin.
like I wanted her to like pat me on the back, like you know.
Right.
Like, I just said it because it was like
It's
I
true.
thought it was funny,
Yeah, it's true.
but I didn't say it like it was true. I said it like it was a
I think it was
joke.
implied. I think she knew it was true before you told her.
Yeah,
People
she
don't just have
definitely.
random scars on their arms.
Yeah, over their massive. Yeah, well, whatever. So
Okay, so
So what happened to the other guy?
what other guy?
The guy, the we were, what was it, like episode 1 or 2, or the
Oh.
pilot episode that never got aired? The guy
So,
that just
Yeah, a
flipped you
year
upside down and
ago.
shook you out.
Yeah, so a year ago we kind of tried a partnership with a clinic, and it didn't work out. I really wanted to stop doing daily injections, and I tricked myself into believing that the test cream would be the same. It wasn't. But one of the worst things, first of all, it was expensive. I don't have any real problem with them. So much, the price is one thing for the service. The other thing is that they prescribed me thyroid medication, but the way it was said to me in Zoom was that it was implied that it was T3. Right? Everybody who says, "Oh, we're gonna prescribe thyroid medication," you assume it's going to be Armour Thyroid, T3 or T4. And I don't know exactly what happened, but I looked at the label one day and it just said the word thyroid on it. And it was like red pills, and I know
I
thyroid
got the same
medication,
medication.
capsules.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what is? And then nothing on the label indicated what was in it.
T3 or whatever.
T3, Armour, T4, Lavoxithin, whatever it's called. And I ended up doing a little research, and it was something called porcine, which
Yep.
is a supplement, essentially. So it's pig thyroid, desiccated pig thyroid that you can. It's in some of the supplements that I carry. You could buy it online.
Right.
And I was paying like an outrageous amount of money for something that I could probably get from my store. And I felt kind of like
Fleeced.
I felt like I got taken advantage of a
They
little bit.
fleeced us.
I mean, it was a little my fault for not like really looking into it. Maybe
Yeah,
I mean,
thanks.
and $400 for 20 milliliters of nandrolone. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
I'm so happy I didn't have the money to get
Oh,
involved. in
I
that.
You
know.
too.
Scott got me good on that one.
So
man.
okay, so let's get to the blood work. Let's get to the good stuff. So my main situation is that I have been trying since rugby for the last year to get back into somewhat of what I would consider decent shape. I think I'm in terrible shape right now.
I wouldn't say terrible. Ease up. Put the bat down.
No, I mean I'm saying how I would describe it.
Oh.
Like if you were to say, what kind of shape are you in? You know, if we hadn't seen each other in a while, I'd be like, I'm in terrible shape. I'm not in good shape.
Cameras go on, and all of a sudden, Justin has a heart.
Yeah, right. If the cameras were on, you'd be
I
like,
literally
"You
just
look
said
like shit."
you're a fat piece of shit. But
Yeah.
like, you walk into a strange group, people are like, "Phew, man, you're big as fuck."
Yeah, but you know
But
what I
we
mean.
know
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
Health-wise.
yes.
And I haven't felt 100%. So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna get my blood work done. I'm gonna go back to a doctor I've worked with in the past,
Mhm.
who's more health orientated than prescription orientated,
Yeah, he is.
and try to see what's going on.
And
'Cause
I think you made a good point too that everybody should get blood work done.
Anybody who's taken, I mean, as a matter of health, I mean, at least once a year. But
Yeah.
if you're taking gear twice a year minimum,
Yeah.
so I think overall, I'll just go through it real quick. All my markers that were pretty much green, which was crazy to me. I was out of range on a couple things with the main stuff, like heart, arteries. Like, he said my blood vessels were good. My vitamin B12 was 2000. I was out of the reference range. It couldn't read above 2000.
Solid.
So it could have been 10,000 for all
Right.
you know. I forgot that I was taken from Amino Asylum
Shredder.
Super Shredder, which is a great product.
Which is awesome stuff.
But it has B12 in it, so
Yeah.
that explained that. I told him that I wasn't sure what it was, but I figured it out later
He
on.
probably told you to throw that shit out.
Now this was the first indicator that I was running into some issues. My estradiol, my estrogen, the reference range is between 8 and 40. I was at a 67, so he really wants you around a 35.
That's his
My estrogen.
Okay.
He's a bitch.
So right there, having high estrogen is going to make it a little difficult to lose weight and to get through a movie without crying. So
A lot of bloating.
explains a lot of the bloating and
Right.
mood swings for sure. So we're gonna do a little bit of a Arimidex. I don't, believe it or not, I don't normally take AIs when I'm on testosterone because I typically don't have this problem. I might use 1 milligram of Arimidex when my system is when you're
Functioning.
getting good
Back to normal,
pumps
Yeah.
and you're in good shape. You kind of know your body. I would never take more than 1 milligram a week on that kind of stuff because I never had an estrogen issue before, but I guess I've developed one, so that's
Right.
fun. My free T3.
Mhm.
Now, going back to the thing I said before, I was struggling to lose some weight. So what do? We don't go to the doctor. We order stuff online. I ordered some T3 a month ago or 2 months ago from Amino Asylum. Honestly, I always assume everything's just fake, but Amino Asylum usually has a pretty good reputation. And I was taking 25 micrograms of T3 every morning, and my T3 was a 7.2. That's almost double what your T3 should be. So if anybody's wondering, I don't have a discount code. I don't make any money on it, but the Amino Asylum T3 is good to go. Good to go.
All clear.
Now it's strange that my T3 would be so high and I'd be so fat, but the next thing is the T4. My T4 is extremely low. It's a 0.7. The reference range is a 0.89, so 0.9 to about a 1.7.
Now
So
explain to everybody why your T4 is so low.
well, my body, that T4 converts into T3. So there is a disconnect in my thyroid hormone. I used to use T3 when I used to bodybuild. I used to use it to cut. I was prescribed Armor Thyroid, which is a small combination, a really low dose. I think it's 12.5 micrograms, and that's a combination of T4 and T3. Your body needs T4 to convert into T3.
Mhm.
So he said it doesn't really matter. My doctor's like, it doesn't matter that you're T3, so how you don't have T4. So essentially, it's like your body doesn't even know what to do with it. It's
Right.
like by skipping that conversion process, you're not helping yourself much at all. He always prescribed T4 and T3 together as Armor Thyroid, and I use that in small amounts. Unfortunately, because of my 10 years of self-medicating to try to look a certain way, I'm probably gonna have to be on T3, T4 for life.
Well, that was my question: is do you think this T3, T4 issue is a result
Of using T3 in
your
the
use
past,
of T3 in the past?
it could very well be. However, he doesn't want to approach it that way. So I'm using his Armor Thyroid
Mhm.
at 12.5 micrograms, and over the course of the next 60 days, he's really going to try to taper me
Keep it
down
down, yeah.
and to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that the T3 and T4 issue is probably a result of some other things going on. Prolactin's good. He said, congratulations, you don't have a prolactin secreting tumor in your brain. So we high-fived about that. Free testosterone. This was outrageous. It was a 38.5, and the reference range is 4 to 17, which is normally I would say a good thing.
You'd be super.
Yeah, you
about
want that. You really, free testosterone is more important, in my opinion, than total testosterone. But we're going to talk about that in a minute because my total testosterone was about 1,300, and the reference range for that is 200 to 800. So I'll tell you guys what I was taking. I was taking 60 milligrams of testosterone cypionate, 6 days a week sub-Q. I think that works out to be 300 and something. It's not. I wasn't taking a lot.
TRT.
It's a little higher,
than
double
TRT.
TRT.
6 days a
We call it.
lot.
It's called sports TRT now. That's the new
Oh yeah.
athletic TRT.
Athletic.
He was-
But why?
Why 6 days a
sub-Q?
week?
Why?
Sub-Q. I'll tell you why. Because
You wanted to keep your levels. No high
I
dips.
well, there's a couple. It's embarrassing, really. I from injecting so much over the years, I've developed scar tissue in my
Everywhere.
shoulders and
Yeah.
my glutes, and it's very difficult to do my lats by myself. I will not inject my legs under any condition.
No,
Uh,
stupid.
every time I was getting bad post injection pain if I went in my shoulders, and I don't want lumps and stuff. I just don't. And when I was on the cream, I started to resolve a lot of the scar tissue. So. Vigorous Steve, a guy on YouTube who I really like, he talks about sub-Q injections. I never really gave it a chance, and I had been doing that recently, and just doing literally a very, very small amount of testosterone,
Where?
just right under skin, right in the belly fat,
right in the
legs
belly
fat.
fat.
You're
I was gonna
fine
s-
with the bruises.
It-
I
it-
lasted 3 days with that shit.
But you were
That's what
doing
it's
like,
told me.
were you doing a half cc or better? Because I'm doing less than a half a cc.
Oh, yeah, I think I was doing I think I was doing a half a cc.
It's 60 milligrams, so it's just a couple ticks
Yeah,
on.
it's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
It's literally like
But I mean,
He had me poking it and then moving it around like a clock
I don't-
dial.
no,
and I'm
no.
like, this is too much.
no, yeah. Listen, I put it. One thing I can handle is injections. It's not that big a deal. I just wanted to give my muscles a break, but I feel like my body was absorbing the testosterone in an appropriate way. I feel like 1300 sounds a little bit high, but I think that's pretty good considering the dose I was taking.
yeah.
And that's all the anabolics I was on. Yeah. Okay, a little bit, a
Fake
tiny
hormone?
little bit of Masteron.
Okay.
Just
What did you just say?
I said, weren't you taking the fake growth hormone?
I was taking some fake growth hormone. Yeah.
We get
We don't even know. I don't know
Surprise.
if it's fake. It's hard to tell.
There's
It's
no
all-
indications in that paperwork that you were on growth hormone.
But he
No,
didn't test.
but
you
I
said
didn't
that
test my
you said he didn't
IGF.
test his
I didn't test
IGF.
my IGF, so I can't say that's real or fake.
I don't know.
I don't know
This
either.
sucks.
Growth hormone is hard to tell, man. It's like where where growth hormone really shines is when you're in shape and your body is functioning at a high level, and then you add something like that in, and it's like there's no question in your mind that
It's
this is
working.
working.
Yeah.
When you're out of shape, it's like taking Anavar when you're fucking
Yeah.
20% body fat.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you get good pumps, but are you doing anything for your physique really?
Yeah.
T3 total was 317. Reference range is 80 to 200. Again, T3 is out of whack. T4 is out of whack.
Your thyroid is fucked for life, dog.
My blood was a little thick, red blood cell, hemocrat. So we grabbed the pint out of me, and that fixed that problem. My sex hormone binding globulin is a very interesting hormone. It basically binds to free testosterone. I'm gonna do bro science, so some fucking nerd's gonna look us up and say that's not exactly how it goes. Sex hormone binding globulin. For me, you want to keep this number pretty low in the reference range. You don't want it outside of the reference range, and you certainly don't want it too high. So I think that's probably a result of the terkesterone I'm running in a pretty high amount of terkesterone, which is great, by the way. That's something that
You
I
do
actually-
sell.
I do sell that here at the store. Maybe I'll link it in the description.
So your SBG needs to be low and your free test needs to be high.
High.
Which I have these things.
Optimally.
Now, so the question will be, and the doctor going is like, if your testosterone is pretty high, your free test is pretty high, and your sex hormone binding globulin is pretty low, even though your estrogen is a little high, that's indicative of not using an AI. All that makes sense. That I should be making some better gains,
Yeah.
so to speak. And the answer that we've come up with, and what he's come up with, is that I've been on testosterone for far too long. That my receptors have downregulated, and now the idea is to resensitize me. So for the next 60 days, we are coming off of testosterone, maybe a little longer. 60 days in an effort to upregulate the receptors, clear out a little bit, give my body a chance to hit a homeostasis again, retest.
Little cleanse.
I'm hoping we don't have to retest. He said we may or may not have to retest, and then add back in the testosterone and get my weight into a weight that I want to be.
What's the weight that he wants you to be at?
What I want to be.
What do you wanna
I would preferably in my life as I live it now, I would want to be around 240 or under.
Okay. And you're at 280?
280. Yeah, 280. But I've lost 14 pounds in 6 days, which we can get into that too.
Man.
But that's a lot of water weight too, because I started taking the Arimidex. Let me just finish up here. Oh, my vitamin D was very low, and he said to me, "Scott, you're going to tear a muscle." And I said, "I already did. I tore
Four of
two.
them.
I tore
I already
two.
tore 4.
Tore my complete bicep and my pec." And he said, "Well, that's because you didn't know vitamin D." I said, "It was probably from the
3
guy's
do
head who
justice,
fucking."
Nate.
But my vitamin D was really low, so I started supplementing some vitamin D.
How much? How many units?
He says it right here. He wants me to take 5,000 IUs of
yeah.
D3 twice a day.
Twice a day?
Twice a day. For in the beginning, just get those numbers back
You
up.
need to get out in the sun, dog.
We're
That's
hitting the
good.
fish oil hard.
Yeah.
We're hitting the omegas hard. He wants me leafy greens. We're cutting out the fast carbohydrates. He prescribed me. We're doing a little bit of Clomid, okay, to come off of the testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, right now, HCG, apparently this is coming from him, HCG is impossible to get, so I have to source the HCG alternatively, we'll say. We're going to be running 500.
Amino Asylum.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say.
Do they have it?
Black market?
Underground Nutrition. Oh, we don't sell that.
No.
I wish we did. HCG, Clomid, 500 IUs of HCG a day. 50 milligrams of Clomid split, so 25 and 25 in the morning and night. I hate Clomid. I probably won't use it, I'll be honest with you. Super duper niacin pills, the flush you pills. He wants just to help with some blood, get the blood flowing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He wants me to increase my healthy cholesterol a little bit, improve my blood flow, work on getting some actual pumps in the gym. A small amount of Armour thyroid, so it's 12.5 micrograms of Armour thyroid dosed down over the next 60 days. And then he asked me if I wanted to, he's like, "You want to lose some weight quick?" And I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And he said, "All right, lift your shirt up." And then he injected me with something when I wasn't looking.
That just seems so.
He's like, "Psst."
That's unorthodox.
Is the vaccine?
I didn't care. It was not too much. It's terzepatide is the drug name. It's a peptide, and it was originally developed for type 2 diabetes. Oh, I didn't mention that. Fasting blood sugar has been a little bit high. And this, people could use this how they want. If you're going to use stuff like growth hormone in your life, or even MK677, if you're not using glucose disposal agents or insulin, and you're bulking and you're abusing these things, like taking more than you should, not prescribed, is that one of the things that could happen to you, even if you're not genetically predisposed, or you're not overweight or fat or eat bad, is that you can really fuck up your blood sugar. You can fuck up your insulin sensitivity. And I've always struggled over the last 5 years with some of my blood sugar. It's why I respond really well to keto and very low carbohydrates. I can usually get my blood sugar in the 80s fasted, but in the past 2 months it's been between 100 and 120 in the morning. That's way too high.
Yeah, it's high.
So we're trying to work on that. So between my fasted blood sugar levels, so my insulin sensitivity, the estrogen, T3, T4 problems, and the hormone imbalances in general, he thinks that that's the contributing factor to not really being able to make any sort of headway in the.
Why you're fat?
That's why I'm fat.
Why you're fat?
That's why I'm a fat guy, fat piece of shit. So
Now that we've lost 8 out of 10 of our viewers, listening to Scott talk about his blood work for 30 minutes, probably at least.
has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been 30 minutes. That was
25.
But is it interesting?
I mean, I
Donnie?
guess we'll
Tell you what, you put in the description of this
Steroid talk.
steroids, blood work tests, testosterone, and
Music
or
to
you
the
put
room.
you put
Clickbait.
Wagari, this drug that I'm taking. This is the last thing I'll talk about because I know everything. I'm a guy who prides myself on knowing as much as he possibly can. I never heard of this, and so I went home.
I know everything.
I literally do, dude. Now I know everything because I know about this drug. It is a peptide, and essentially what it does is, aside from addressing your insulin sensitivity in the pancreas, it also affects your ghrelin. I always say it wrong. It's the hormone that makes you feel satiated. It slows down gastral emptying, meaning you digest your food a little slower. So they're the first drug he gave me, I was like, I don't have health insurance. How much is it? He's like, it's $2,000 a month. I said,
I'd kill you.
he's like, but you have health insurance. I said, I don't have health insurance. He's like, oh, if you had health insurance, it would kick back and it would only cost you $25 with a coupon. I said, why?
Those are the samples you got.
So he pulled a couple strings for me. He said, well, I said, I'll get health insurance. I'm just in between carriers right now. It's open enrollment. I'm going to do it. Don't worry. I probably won't, but I might. I'm thinking about it. So it's a once a week or once daily injection, depending on the type, and it works in the same way. Now, I was really skeptical about it because I hadn't heard it, but whatever. I took it that day, and for the last 6 days, I think I lost 12 pounds. I was losing like 2 pounds a day, but I'm satiated. I cannot fucking eat.
You're not
I don't think it's sustainable for this reason for me, because if I'm trying to maintain muscle mass or whatever, but to get to your goal weight,
Get somewhere, yeah.
to get down, if I get down to 240 and deal with some of the issues surrounding all this, my hormones and all that, I think it's gonna really help.
Set a little foundation.
Yeah, to having the weight come off and feeling good and seeing it in the mirror and training and like getting some results is always motivating. It's tough when you're lifting and you got injuries, you're not seeing anything, and then
like, why am I
John
doing
brings
it?
some fucking candy, and we start eating some candy. I go to
Let's
the
get
gym.
into that
It's like,
phase.
we
Move
so
on
that's
to
in my
the
blood
next
work. Well,
segment.
long story short, Scott, I'm coming off testosterone for the first time in 10 years. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna
Should be
happen.
fun to
It's-
deal with.
I'm really scared, but
Aw,
I am.
we're here for you, bud.
You're gonna be all
You're gonna be
right.
fine.
He's gonna last 2 weeks.
You're gonna start blasting Trent in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened in 2016. For anybody that watched the last episode, Justin admitted to never having peppermint bark before.
Never.
So he did not have a fair comparison for the protein that we tried, and I was able to acquire some. I boosted it.
From his therapist.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Where'd you get it
Yeah,
from?
My therapist. I stole it from my therapist.
And so how did it come up?
I just saw it. I said, "Can I have that?" And he said, "Yeah."
Take it.
So I want Justin to try it on camera, and I want to. I mean, I'm probably gonna eat some too.
I was gonna say I'm the only one that's having this now.
I want like a
This
rating.
This is because you didn't know what peppermint bark tasted like when we had the protein last week.
Correct. Smells
John, you're gonna probably want to get in on that a little bit. I'm worried that it's gonna be
What are you getting worried about?
the microphone. Can you rate this on a scale of 1 to 10? That's crunchy.
Wow.
It is. I'm gonna have some too.
You're thinking about it. Candy cane hit at the end there. I can smell it came out your nose.
Oh.
I can breathe it out your nose.
Oh no.
Let me try a piece.
Actually, yeah, take a piece.
Is it?
No, man. It's not for me. I mean, the white chocolate is great. Don't get me wrong.
What about the milk chocolate on the back?
Yeah, a good undercarriage.
That's like pizza.
That's the undercarriage right there. Crispy. Now,
Can we talk about the World Cup? What's going on with that? I was
It's over. Brazil lost.
it's not over. Don't
Brazil
say that.
lost. It's
So,
over.
that's good. The favorites are out.
what's his name lost? It was the only guy I know. Don't say his name. Ronaldo.
He did. He plays for Portugal.
And they got out. They're out.
They're out. And now you got Argentina, Croatia,
Mm-hmm.
France, and the first African team to ever make it to the semifinals, Morocco.
Morocco, Northern Africa.
Correct. Isn't that by like Liberia, I think?
Morocco's right next to Italy. Literally.
You call me Moroccan?
No, I'm just saying that they share a lot of cultural attributes,
Like what?
like landmass.
What the
They're
fuck?
separated by a nifkin.
Get the fuck
Yeah,
out of
I
here.
just-
So what happened?
I don't think we can't do the Africa,
it was a
Italy thing,
reporter.
can we?
No, all right. So,
Is he a reporter?
so yeah, he's a United States.
Wait,
soccer-
let's start over again.
Go ahead. Set the print.
Let's start over.
Set it.
What happened to the guy who went to the World Cup game with the pride shirt on?
He went to Qatar to cover the World Cup. He is a big supporter. So he went there and he was wearing a gay pride shirt. And at first they denied him entry into the game.
Mm-hmm.
They said you cannot come in here with that shirt on. After some back and forths, he got FIFA involved. FIFA was actually involved in
At the gate. He got the FIFA involved at the gate.
It's FIFA's the most
FIFA is the
most
mafia.
FIFA is
I
the
know
most
that.
corrupt
I don't know anything about
thing
soccer,
ever.
but they're like the
But
mafia.
yeah, they
But
are.
he couldn't get in at the gate, and he just called FIFA.
He somehow was getting people involved, and then eventually they allowed him access. I don't know if he had to take the shirt
He
off
did.
or not.
I think he did. Yeah.
Okay, so
I think Qatar was saying
that it was a
political
view,
statement,
correct?
and that
They
you
were-
can represent your team. You can wear anything that's not offensive. No political statements. If you went there with a Ukraine, maybe that's not a great example.
Well, they're notoriously homophobic as well.
I don't think that I wouldn't call them
Right?
homophobic. I would say that they're not supportive.
Like they throw people off fucking buildings.
Not
for that?
in, not in Qatar. Not
No.
Qatar's. I think is a little bit. I mean, if Saudi Arabia is the Stone Age, then they're the Bronze Age, maybe. You know,
Okay.
I think
Okay,
that's a good
all right,
example.
Qatar. All right, so
No,
they're,
I'm
they're
not-
a little progressive.
I'm not saying I don't agree with their country's particular stance on like freedom of expression. Do you think they would have let him in with a Rage Against the Machine T-shirt, like
Totally.
a Che
Or, like-
Guevara?
Zach De La Roca, he's the man. I gotta fuck with him. But anyway, halfway through the game, he is a 48-year-old man who, prior to that game, was complaining when he was doing like some kind of podcast or interview that he was a little under the weather.
Okay.
Which it's the time of year everybody's under the weather. I don't know, but wasn't like where
Well,
he
the flu's back.
Flu's
Correct,
back.
Flu's back. Halfway through the game, he passes out. He collapses. Medical people come. Hours later, he's pronounced dead.
So they killed him.
I am in
You-
agreement.
Do you guys think that they're wasting the kill shot on because he embarrassed them a little? I mean, I don't know. I saw on Twitter some people saying that he got killed for trying to wear a pride shirt, but I feel like that's I
Clickbait.
feel it's a little clickbaity.
Yeah, like they wouldn't waste a kill on that.
Yeah, I feel like it's subterfuge.
Donnie, did you see this? Shocking.
You didn't see this? Where do you get your news?
You're living in Las
I know.
Vegas.
By the time this airs, it's going to be old news, but I would love to see you guys' reaction to this.
What do you?
So everybody knows about the Liver King. The Liver King was using
We have
steroids.
I feel like there's a lot of ground to cover with this guy.
Well,
Some of it's a little old. You have some late breaking stuff, but we could spend the rest of the episode talking about this.
Yeah, and it's stupid because everybody that is, that probably either watches clips of this on our Instagram knew already that this guy, there was no chance he was natural.
That's what I'm upset about.
Is like how people are upset that he wasn't natty.
Like he has to. I mean, I get he was denying it, but Nobody should have been listening.
We were all denying
at one
it
point, nobody should be even listening to him. He shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I have like a weird. I don't care at all whatsoever that he lied about taking steroids. Professional athletes lie
Frank
about.
does. He is pissed.
But
Frank's mad.
He's been posting it on social media every day.
here's my thing. Just bear with me here, okay? Everybody here watches sports. Everybody here watches the MMA. Everybody knows that these guys are using PEDs in some way, shape, or form and lying about it. At least a percentage. Let's just say 5% of professional athletes. You can say 1%. It's a significant amount of people that are buying into your team, your product, your brand, and you're lying about what you take. If you're asked by a reporter if you're taking steroids, they're going to lie right to your face. Now, the Liver King is not an athlete of any kind. He did miraculously the 1 in a billion thing where you're a fitness person, you like to lift weights, and you want to own a supplement company and be influential and make a lot of money doing the thing that you love. I mean, I would say probably half of the people that we know in our lives want to be the Liver King in some way, shape, or form. He has his own supplement line. He makes $100 million a year. He makes videos that go absolutely viral.
Did he make that much money?
$100 million a year
from his like ancestral.
from all his
His
companies,
shtick, his
Yeah.
whole.
his companies, right? I don't think he's. I mean, I don't agree with him not telling the truth because he's so obviously unnatural, so obviously gear. Like anybody who looked at his physique and knew anything about even like a little bit about steroids and training would be able to tell that he's using something, you know. I don't he doubled down on it. Not only did he say that he didn't use it, but he also kind of implied that if you did use it, you were subprimal and like kind of like taking shots at it. Like that's a little sketchy to me. But he's not a professional athlete. He's not under any obligation at all whatsoever to divulge what illegal drugs he's taking. I don't really like the way that he treated it.
Shut up.
He should have just skipped that question.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm not going to answer that. It's irrelevant, you know, because I think he truly believes that it's irrelevant to training and stuff. But anyway,
But I don't think in his case it is.
why?
Because I believe that he is leading, and he's no different than the female fitness model who's had hundreds of thousands of dollars of plastic surgery and whose photos are edited, trying to sell you on some type of 30-minute workout. It's
Well,
just,
I mean, Dana Lynn Bailey's been claiming natural forever, and there's been video after video that's saying that's essentially impossible.
it's not possible.
What she says it, and she rides with it. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't think these people, the supplement industry, the industry that I'm involved with and I make my living on, I'm telling you, mostly is snake oil or it's some sort of sales gimmick. What is worse, the Liver King lying to you about being natural and selling you decent supplements? Nobody's saying anything bad about his supplements. Like
I actually bought it. I bought
Yeah,
the liver pills.
I have in his bone marrow.
But I
Yeah.
think the implication is that
But what's
he
worse?
looks the way he does because of the things that he's doing. When he looks the way he does because of the amount of performance enhancing drugs
As
he's taking.
But everybody knows that that's part of the story. We okay?
I thought he was passing
I
out
thought
for
he
a
was.
second.
Did you fart? Is that a little burp? I thought he was having a seizure. Man, I just started fishing that way. But this is the question I'm asking though. Hold on. What is worse? Like, or what's the difference between the Liver King not being natural and selling what he sells? Because again, you're going to be really hard to find somebody who can attack his methods of training, his ancestral tenets, or his supplements. Nobody's saying that it's garbage or bad. Nobody's saying that you won't get results from it. Nobody's saying that.
Mhm.
What's the difference between that and somebody who, like, anybody who's making $50,000 a year selling Performix, like, test boosters? Who's worse? Like, every single one of those guys who,
They're
like,
It's the same
They're
thing.
the
He's
same
just
thing.
in the limelight.
what the difference is that they're
He's-
doing it for 40 grand a year.
Yeah,
You're
he-
selling you're a Performix rep, and you're telling me that I'm going to spend $140 on a test booster that everyone knows is fucking fake.
And
Doesn't do a thing.
Mhm.
Does nothing.
Frank Thomas.
For-
Who else is in that commercial? It's so cringe.
What's I'm saying? What's worse? The guy who gets scammed by Performix, or I'm just using him as an example because it's so obviously garbage,
Mhm.
or the guy who does the ancestral tenets. Who's going to be better off? You
They're
know?
the same thing. He just.
I would argue that
obvious-
you would have a better shot listening to everything that the Liver King ever said about training, eating, and
Yeah.
living.
Yeah.
And you'll
You
get,
get better
results,
results.
but you're never going to look remotely
him,
like
no.
him.
No.
No, you'd never look like
We've
There's
had
nobody.
We've had this conversation probably 5 times a year for the last 7 or 8 years that the professional athletes and the small. Mark Bell said it. He's like, there is nobody that is competing at a professional level in any sport that is not on performance enhancing drugs.
Of some way,
Michael
of some,
Jordan,
yeah.
Tiger Woods,
Whether it's
Tom
peptide,
Brady, it doesn't matter who
Yeah.
you are.
yeah, because I mean, WADA considers everything a performance-enhancing drug, whether it's caffeine used at the right timing, modafinil. It doesn't even need to be an anabolic steroid, but everybody's using some sort of substance to try to get whatever.
Trying to get an edge.
That's neither here nor there. I thought the entire thing, because I like Vigorous Steve, and I've been watching Vigorous Steve for a while on YouTube, and it turns out that he's the guy who put
His coach.
was his coach for like 2 weeks, who put the Liver King on blast through Derek for more plates, more dates. You got Nick Trigili chiming in left and right. It's like anybody who's following this stuff on YouTube knows that it's like a fucking total shit show. It's a lot of fun because it's drama, and it's been kind of boring lately. But last night I was watching YouTube, and Tony Huge had a video, and it was called
Dr. Tony Huge.
Dr. Tony Huge.
He's still around.
Oh yeah, he's around. He's doing it, dude.
Not even. We don't.
He's
even-
got videos.
We have a whole nother episode to talk about some of the things he got us to do.
He's got DMP. He's got videos on like it's titled like what it's like to date five lady boys. Like
Jesus Christ.
I'm not even kidding.
Still won his T-shirt.
He's living a polygamous lifestyle in Thailand. They're vlogging it. You can watch it.
Is he still with the guy that looks like Ryan Palazzo? R.I.P.
No,
You know who I'm talking
Trevor.
about?
Trevor. No, they parted ways. It turns out Trevor was using drugs. Everybody. I don't know the whole story with him and Trevor, but Trevor's no longer in the
He
picture.
was always.
He's associated with this other guy now who's just as weird. It's fun because the Dr. Tony Huge camp is at odds with it seems like Dave Palumbo's camp over this one character who's like this he's now the scientist.
What was his company?
What? Enhanced Athlete.
Yes, Enhanced Athlete. You had.
I used to carry his stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty
What
sure
was it, SARMs?
he's on the lam. He has everything. He has everything from like
What
Yohimbine.
did you have here?
Everything.
Oh.
I carried a bunch of his shit. He makes good stuff. I'm pretty sure he's like wants it in the United States for stuff.
Awesome.
He's living in Thailand and he's dating like a dozen at a time. And it's the fun. It's the great.
He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He's a
He's
doctor
a
of.
really smart guy.
He's a doctor of jurisprudence. Technically, he's a doctor, but he's a lawyer. Anyway, so he got these videos of the Liver King. I just want to show you guys what the Liver King looks like. It's his voice. Let's just start here. Ready? This is one example. I don't know how you're gonna do this, Donnie. Figure it out in post.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Look, it's,
Ed,
That's the
just
Liver
That's
wanted
him?
to tell
That's
you
him
two
right there.
things.
This is just like a year
The first
ago or
thing is
so.
that
Hold on, let's
there's
get you.
nobody like you.
And the second thing is, sorry.
And I really appreciate you for who you are.
And the second thing is, happy
Look at
birthday! We really hope that you're still
All
alive
right, wait.
by the time you get
Wait,
this
wait.
message.
So he was talking about his voice changing over time. I don't think he's natural there. I think he's probably just starting. But he was, first of all, he's been strong for a long time. He was a CrossFitter. He trained really hard. It looks like he was eating the way he ate even back then. But this is definitely pre-steroids. This is a great video here.
People always ask me, how
That-
do you stay so
Does he look like Steve-O?
upside down on your hands? And I always tell them the answer's the same.
But look at his
I
build.
do active wrists and a whole lot of deficit work.
He looks like a CrossFitter.
He was a CrossFitter. He was a competitive with little legs. Still has little legs.
Did you hear the voice? It's very different. See, his voice is very feminine back then, very like nice
I
guy,
miss
kind of
Tony
like my
Huge.
voice.
Anyway, you could tell that this whole Liver King thing is definitely has become a character. Although I'm not the same person I was 7 years ago, I don't think I'm that far away.
Yeah.
He seems like a totally
yeah.
different guy,
So
you
you're
know.
telling me that grounding and vitamin D and broth?
And
Didn't-
$11,000 in growth hormone
Yeah.
might have had an effect on his personality.
I mean, he's doing podcasts with his shirt off now. He does interviews with his shirt off.
Well, he said he's going natural.
We should do that.
He always does everything shirt off. I think
Again,
barefoot.
it's, you know,
But it's all part of a shtick. I mean, he's trying to sell a brand and a product. I don't even dislike that kind of stuff. At least it's semi-interesting. At least he's lifting and eating, and and it's another thing that I saw is that as much as people seem to be hating, and nobody's been able to find anything that indicates that he hasn't been living the lifestyle
That he promotes.
with the exception
Of
of
the
the,
PEDs.
the drugs.
the PEDs.
Yeah.
And I thought it's something pretty interesting too, is that with the exception of Winstrol and his entire stack, with the IGF-1, the HGH, the testosterone, even the nandrolone is all naturally occurring in your body. So I mean, testosterone is technically I mean, he might be getting an unnatural
I was going to
amount.
say he's getting a lot.
But it's not like I didn't see any trend in there. He
No,
he
he
wasn't
didn't.
taking cattle steroids. Winstrol is a little.
Was-
although
yeah.
I've heard people are getting prescriptions for Winstrol. I don't know how true that
From
is.
where?
How old is he?
I think he's 38.
Yeah, he's in his late 30s, I think. And I don't know. I don't dislike. I never bought into his shit that much. I thought the liver stuff was
I
pretty
thought the
interesting.
liver stuff was cool, and the red meat and the.
He's not wrong about a lot of the things he says. He seems a little bit of a lunatic. I wouldn't want to hang out with him. He's a little too. If he's that intense all the time, I'm not. I'm good on that.
They promote that like super healthy,
Natural
lifestyle grounding.
Except the
yeah,
growth hormone.
yeah,
A little bit of omnitrope.
I think you or the people around you figure out the aspects of your character that makes money, and that's how they portray you. That's how you're, you typecast yourself.
Well, it just goes to show you, looking at his older videos, he looked like an absolute nobody. He looked like a little dork who had some good lifts, and he built an entire multi-million-dollar company. That okay, so he lied about taking steroids, but again, with all this shit going on, I still haven't heard or seen one video that's been able to attack the supplements that he makes, or even really attack the lifestyle. I know some people would argue that the carnivore diet isn't that healthy, isn't as healthy, but I mean, eating in a calorie deficit the way people do isn't all that healthy.
Oh.
A vegan diet isn't healthy. A keto diet isn't healthy. Like what everybody you can make
think
an
a
argument
carn-
against almost any diet.
Yeah, I think a carnivore diet might be the healthiest diet.
A paleo diets. But if you go on YouTube and you type in "is a paleo diet bad," you can watch a fucking 20-minute video that would seemingly have some evidence to show that paleo
That is
diet's
bad.
that it's bad.
Yeah.
Not great for your lipid
That's like
profile or
everything, yeah.
whatever.
I think people only care about the PEDs though because the implication, my opinion, of the general public, anybody who has no experience with them, thinks that you just take them and look like that.
Which is not
That's
the
why they
case.
think it's cheating.
Yeah.
Because you just take them and you go to bed and you wake up and you look like
Superman.
the Liver King or you look like the Rock.
Yeah.
And they completely discount the amount of work that you have to do. You still have to do the same amount, if not more work.
Yeah, I'm on testosterone
That
currently, and I look like
case in
as
point.
natural as anybody's ever been.
Right.
People are always surprised to find out Sean is taking steroids.
I'm actually natural.
You are. That's
Yep.
right. I believe it.
I've been lying this whole time. I just wanted to fit in with you guys.
I believe it. You guys want to talk about the AI fad on Instagram where people are
The sick cartoon pictures.
where the computer makes your life it makes your life appear to be not boring?
Yeah, fucking can't stand it.
We should do it. You want to do it right now? You want to download the app and do our pictures?
Nope.
Not one bit.
What's it called? Does anybody know what it's called?
No. Fucking cartoon. Fucking Avatar.
I saw an ad. I don't know if it was on Facebook or Instagram today about an app that makes you a Simpson, and I thought that sounded a lot cooler than these.
Then the
I'm a
Avatar.
lot more curious to know what I'd look like as a Simpson.
I was a big
The New York Times did an article. How is everyone making those AI selfies? Have you noticed that many of your friends are suddenly fairy princesses or space travelers?
I
Did
did
that
see
a
it.
long time ago.
I did.
Is your Instagram feed overrun with Renaissance-style paintings of people who were definitely born in the 90s? Who is this cheeky writer? Madison Malone and her friend. They couldn't write it by themselves. They write it together. Kaylee Halterman. And it's not behind a paywall. You scumbags. At least they told me that.
Always.
Lenza. I'm gonna check it out. So there's this app called Lenza. I noticed this fad earlier in the week, and I saw it and I said, "Doesn't your phone literally come with the filter? It makes you look like a painting?" And I sent it. Frank sent me a AI picture of him as like a superhero. So you should put me on
Looked exactly like Frank looks.
He said you should put me on a T-shirt, and I said, "Bro, are you you really did that?" And then I sent him a picture of me as a painting using my regular camera on my iPhone.
Frank's sneaky with the influencing. He hits everybody up sometimes with the anonymous questions.
Yeah, he wants to stay in the network. He's smart. He's a smart guy. That's how he gets away with doing all the bullshit he does.
I'll tell you what, if you lie to his face about being on PEDs, it's over.
He's gonna make.
I'm gonna call
He's
you
gonna
out
be
on
over.
this.
So
37 stories.
yeah, so I guess it's this app. If I have to pay for it, we're not doing it. We're gonna just cut this dead in the water. I mean, we're gonna do it right here, live on air, live on the podcast. And I suppose it takes your boring everyday life and turns you into a superhero or a Viking. So how do you guys feel about it? As you,
I think it's the worst thing in
do
the
you know
fucking
what I'm
world.
talking about?
Of course I do.
Worst thing in the world?
No, it's not the worst. All right, so that's a bit of an
The
exaggeration.
worst thing in the world. I know how you
Worst
feel
thing to
about
happen this week.
social media.
This week on social media, it's just like, holy shit, this is what I'm looking at. Everybody has to post this. It's
Would you
just-
rather see these pictures or the articles about?
This
the
app has
basketball player?
620,000 5-star. People are loving this right now. Start your membership. Wait a minute. I don't.
Oh, you gotta pay.
$35 a year? You freaks are paying for this? Is there a free
Nope.
start your membership now? You guys are paying for this shit. Hold on. Let me just.
Well, is it like a free trial and then you can go cancel?
You want to do that? Because I will
Not me.
forget. Alenza wants to track me. They want to track me.
John posed a question: would I rather see everybody's blue avatar or everybody's
Oh,
opinion on Brittany Griner getting traded for the Merchant of Death? And my answer is I'd rather throw my phone in the middle of Route 9 because I hate every single fucking person. That's what I feel.
That's why Justin's on Twitter, because they don't have these pictures.
Yeah, the reason
He's
why
not allowed to
Justin's
do
on
anything on Twitter.
Yeah, no,
right?
the reason-
they let him hang out.
Instagram makes me hate people I know, and Twitter makes me love people that I don't know.
This is asking me to select some photos. I guess they're going to give me a free trial, and they're going to think based. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to pick some pictures of myself. Obviously, pictures of myself when I looked cool. No, I'll pick some shitty fat boy pictures. I don't care. Maybe it'll make me like a sumo wrestler. I'm the only one that they make a sumo wrestler.
This
Topic.
is taking too long.
Well, why don't you guys fucking
Between
talk? You
your
need
blood
me?
work.
That's
Yeah,
how much you
no,
need? You need
and
me?
No, I'm waiting.
Between
For
I'm
your,
trying to
blood
pick some
work and
fucking
your
pictures.
I'm waiting for your fucking sumo wrestling.
The beauty of
avatar,
editing
bro.
is, believe it or not, can
Could
you
be
make it
5
look
minutes.
like I
Of
spent 1 second and
Yeah.
before he gets upset? Good.
No,
Good. It makes him look like a big asshole.
big asshole.
Big asshole. There's me right there. Me looking fucking like a.
While you're doing that,
Looking
Justin was
like a
telling me that he's
snack.
pumped about the Brittany. What's her name?
Brittany Griner,
He's pumped.
super pumped.
You think that was a good trade?
I never said I thought it was a good trade. My opinion was I thought she was stupid for what she did, but no American, no matter what your opinion on is over America, is, I don't think it's fair that she was locked up in a Russian prison for a fucking CBD pen. Do I think it was a fair trade for the Merchant of Death? No, I don't necessarily think it was a fair trade. Should President, should POTUS have fucking tried to get a 2-for-1 deal and brought the Marine home with her?
Barely got that deal.
Let me ask you a question. You're the president of the United States.
Sure.
You go to fucking Vladdy and you say, listen,
Hey, Uncle Vlad.
you got this basketball player over there. You got an opportunist lockup, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? And he goes, I want the Merchant of Death, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, why don't you throw in the Marine?
Yeah.
And he's like, not gonna happen. You guys are like, we're beefing right now pretty hard. I'm not sure if you're aware.
Yeah. All that money.
So we'll do a 1-for-1. And if you ask me again, I'm gonna
Kill you.
I'm gonna drop a nuke on the Ukraine. And he's like, just kidding. Just kidding. But if you ask me again, you're not getting shit.
You're not getting anything.
You're not getting nothing. What do you do? You take that? You're Joe Biden. Remember, you're thinking clear.
You're thinking clear.
thinking
You're the most
clear.
popular.
You don't have a
presidential
diaper.
Candidate in the history.
You're not
of the
wearing a
country.
diaper.
He's a genius for getting Brittany Griner out for that, because it's great optics for him and the people that vote for him, But me personally, do I think it was a fair trade? No, of course it wasn't a fair trade. It's unfortunate that any American citizen, for a crime that is pretty minimal over here, to be locked up over there. But I don't know, like it wasn't it sucks. It's awful. I feel terrible for the family of the
How do you feel about somebody that committed a crime that's minimal elsewhere, but not minimal here, being locked up here, like throwing somebody off a building?
Yeah, but that's not a U.S. citizen, so I don't care.
Jeez Christ.
I love
That's-
America.
I agree with you that she was being
Can you put an American flag like over Johnson?
no matter what I say, no matter how conservative I might come across, I don't think that getting her back was a bad thing at all. I wish that we could get our Marine home. I don't think that shit's fair at all.
No.
But I'm glad we got her back. The Merchant of Death thing, unfortunately, the news is everything is propaganda. So we don't really know I don't know anything about that guy until the his name came up. Had you ever heard of him before?
No.
Never.
We don't know anything about the Marine either.
Right. We don't know. He said he was charged with espionage.
He was a cop in Chicago.
Yeah.
and a Marine,
And
and
he
he
was
was
discharged.
What are you doing in Russia?
He
You know, I think
discharged
he was
with-
probably doing something over there because it doesn't seem like nobody's making like. They called him. His sister called him an opportunity grab too. It's asking me what my gender is. It hasn't figured it out from the. Can
From the what?
I get a fucking?
This is gone.
All right, I'm doing it for guys. I'm spending $11 on this. I can't fucking believe it.
Record,
You
we don't
freaks
care.
paid money.
We don't care. $11 worth. So just
I did it. I'm getting 100 unique avatars. Well, so yeah, let's just wrap up on the Brittany Griner.
Griner.
She's a great basketball player. I'm happy she's home. I hope she deals with her drug problem, and yeah,
Gets back to.
I hope the Merchant of Death stops merchanting death.
What's the other movie with Nicolas Cage?
God of War.
Lord of War. Good movie. Ever
would
seen
you
that?
rather be the Merchant of Death or the Lord of War?
Merchant of Death is
Merchant
way
of Death
cooler.
is a badass.
I would get
name.
that shit tattooed on me in jail. I'd be like, the U.S. government calls me the Merchant of Death.
I like Lord of War.
You would like that. You look like a lord.
Well,
Is he
Lord.
He's
short?
lording.
Is he
Yeah,
short?
like
Stubby?
the
Like-
Lord from Shrek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or a Lord of the Rings. He looks like you.
little Frodo. Well,
Wow.
I've been calling you Hobbit feet since I met you. Yeah,
Not to my face.
I said you got a foot like a Hobbit.
I have a high arch.
You have a Bilbo Baggins foot.
I
I
have a
get
high.
pissed at his feet, man, because he's got all these nice fucking sneakers, but he's a size 6, and I can't fucking borrow any.
That's
like-
inaccurate.
His
tell the
fucking-
truth.
All right, he's a
Foot
size
like-
7.
Eight and a half.
Foot like a brick.
For real, man.
I have a high arch.
It's fucking bullshit.
All right, Donnie, I think you did a great job tonight. Are you done? You look done.
He's fucking happy.
You got anything to add?
See you guys in 2 weeks.
Good night.